Traveling has always been my escape. New places, unfamiliar roads, the sense of adventure, I've always lived for it. But this trip was different. It was a trip that changed everything. It started with a missed connection. My flight was delayed, and by the time I landed, it was nearing midnight. I was exhausted, hungry, and irritable. The rental car GPS couldn't seem to find my hotel, repeatedly rerouting me through narrow, deserted roads. Just as I was ready to pull over and sleep in the car, I saw a faintly glowing sign, the Silent Hotel. The name was quite weird. The building was plain, almost forgettable, save for the flickering neon lights casting shadows on the cracked pavement. I hesitated, but fatigue won out. I parked, grabbed my bag, and stepped inside. The lobby was quiet, too quiet. The only sound was a faint hum of a vending machine in the corner. A man stood behind the reception desk, mid-30s maybe, with dark circles under his eyes and an unsettling blank expression. His voice, when he spoke, was soft, almost a whisper. "Welcome. Checking in?" I nodded, handing him my ID. He typed something into an ancient computer before sliding a key across the counter along with a sheet of paper. The paper was strange. It read, "Rule number 1, no speaking after midnight. Rule number 2, remain in your room from midnight to 6 a.m. Rule number 3, do not attempt to leave during these hours." I frowned. What is this about? The man's lips twitched, as if he wanted to say something but couldn't. Instead, he simply replied, "For your safety, sir, please follow the rules." Too tired to press further, I grabbed the key and headed to my room. The hallway was dimly lit, the air heavy with the scent of an old carpet and mildew. My room, 204, was small but clean, with a single window that overlooked the dense woods surrounding the property. I locked the door, placed my bag on the chair, and collapsed onto the bed. Sleep didn't last long. At precisely midnight, I woke up to a sound, a soft, rhythmic tapping. 3 taps, a pause, then 3 more. I sat up, my heart thudding. The sound was coming from the window. I hesitated before approaching. Pulling back the curtain, I saw nothing but darkness. The trees swayed gently in the breeze, their shadows dancing on the ground. Telling myself it was probably a branch or an animal. I returned to bed, but as soon as I lay down, the tapping resumed, louder this time. Panic crept in. I grabbed the paper with the rules and reread them, the words taking on a new weight. Why no speaking after midnight? Why stay in the room? My mind raced with the questions, but no answers came. Then the tapping stopped, only to be replaced by a new sound. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, moving down the hallway. They just stopped outside my door, I held my breath, gripping the edge of the bed. A soft whisper followed, indistinct but chilling, like someone trying to speak through clenched teeth. The footsteps continued, fading into the distance. I checked the time, 12:17 a.m. The minutes dragged on, each second marked by the oppressive silence. It wasn't just quiet, it was suffocating, as though the entire building was holding its breath. At 3:12 a.m., the doorknob rattled. My heart nearly stopped. The lock held, but the door cracked open a crack, revealing the dimly lit hallway beyond. Summoning every ounce of courage, I rushed forward and slammed it shut, twisting the lock until it clicked. But when I turned back to the room, my blood ran cold. The window, which I had locked earlier, was wide open. On the sill were faint handprints, too small to belong to an adult. But the question was, how was it even possible, as my room was on the second floor? I backed into the corner, clutching the bedside lamp like a weapon. The hours crawled by as I stared at the door and window, every crack and groan of the building setting my nerves on the edge. When dawn finally broke, I grabbed my things and bolted for the lobby. The scene downstairs was chaos. The desk was overturned, papers scattered everywhere. The receptionist was nowhere to be seen. On the wall behind the desk, all I saw is 3 words on the wall: "Do not speak." It was too much for me to handle. I didn't wait to find out more. I just rushed outside. I ran to my car, the keys trembling in my hand, and sped away. My GPS directed me back to the main highway, as though the hotel had never existed. For days, I tried to convince myself as if it was all a bad dream. But then, I found the paper with the rules in my pocket. It smelled faintly of smoke. Curiosity got the better of me. As I started researching, digging through obscure forums and local legends, there was no record of the Silent Hotel. But I found a handful of stories, all eerily similar to mine. Mysterious hotel, strict rules, and guests who vanished without a trace. Curiosity got the better of me. I started researching, digging through obscure forums and local legends. There was no record of the Silent Hotel, but I found a handful of stories, all eerily similar to mine. A mysterious hotel, strict rules, and guests who vanished without a trace. Weeks passed, and I began to move on. But late one night, as I sat in my apartment, I heard it. 3 taps on my 5th floor window. A pause. Then 3 more. I completely froze. My apartment overlooked a busy street. There's no way anyone could be outside my window. My heart pounding, I simply forced myself to ignore it. The tapping continued for hours, relentless but never forceful. Eventually, it stopped. But now, every night at midnight, it returns. I have stopped sleeping at night, terrified of what might happen if I open the curtain. I successfully saved myself from that hotel, but its rules still haunt me, burned into my mind. No speaking, stay inside, do not leave. I really don't know what's outside, but I know this. It's waiting for me to break the rules.